Welcome to Repco Muscle Garage. Proudly brought to you by Repco. It starts with the parts. Mount Shop, undercar specialists. Meguiar's, people who love cars love Meguiar's. And Rislone, high-performance additives for high-performance vehicles. In this episode, we have a chat with a couple of Bay Rodders and check out a build that was Chrysler's response to the Ford Mustang. But first up, thanks to our mates at Meguiar's, we venture over to the iconic summer destination that is Mount Maunganui to check out this year's NZHRA Street Rod Nationals Show and Shine.
We're at the 2020 Street Rod Nationals here in Tauranga. It's hosted by Bay Rodders. This is the second time we've hosted the NZHRA New Zealand Street Rod Nationals. There's around 150 cars, 160 cars entered into the Street Rod Nationals. 250 people, so some people got two up on a car, and I think we've had just over 1,000 people through the gate have a look at the cars and the display. We're wrapped. Our numbers are a little bit lower than what we thought, but our entrance really stopped off during the second lockdown, but that's just life. We carry on, and we're running them. We were running them as long as we could, and we're happy with the entrance numbers. Everyone's having a good time. We had a bigger public today through the gate than we had last time, because sometimes if it's raining, you only get like 50 people through the gate, and we've had well over 1,000 people through the gate, which is really good for us. We're really impressed. We hadn't allowed for that many people to come in. We've got coffee and barbecue, and they have a sausage sizzle going, and it's fundraising for other people as well. Well, the Mount Maunganui Lions Club, they come along here and run our barbecue, and that goes towards like the Mount Courage rugby team, and there's a basketball team that goes towards as well. It's all good.
The show draws car enthusiasts from all over the country.
These are the top street rods in New Zealand. They've come from, I think we've got 11 cars from the South Island. We've got one from Invercargill, one from Gore, and they're actually staying here and leaving the cars at our members' garages and then flying home and flying back to go to Beach Shop in a month's time. They're dedicated hot rodders, and these guys drive thousands of kilometres. 11 cars, I think there's 6 from Christchurch. There's 31 from Wellington. There's a lot of local cars as well, like Hamilton, Riverside Rodders, Whangarei Rodders. Palmy's got a good team of Palmerston North Hot Rod Club. We've got a good team of cars here. And these guys come up, and it's all about the people as much as the cars. It's about the trip up, the road journey up. You get a few breakages, you fix them, and you meet new people. And you catch up with old friends that you've known like 20 years or 30 years ago.
There were also some pretty fun time trials for those eager to test their prized possessions handling. Carl Boniface and his Nitro Flashback, as well as Dave Gould's fuel-altered Nightmare, were on display, giving the crowd some ear-bleeding fire-ups and burnout displays. Now, thanks to Mount Shop, we have a chat to a couple of Bay Rodders on their recent builds.
So my name's Lisa Sawyer, I'm from Bay Rodders, and this is my 1930 Model A 5-window coupe. So we had it built by a long-term friend of ours, from childhood friend of ours, Tony House from Hamilton. We were neighbours in Palmerston North, grew up as they lived across the road from us. So his dad actually did the panel work on it, which was really neat because our parents were friends. So I had my input right from the word go, and I wanted to go with the white theme was my main focus. My inspiration was really from the Jesse James build that he did for Port Tuttle Senior's car from Orange County Choppers. And yeah, it just sort of rolled from there. We went with the white theme, and then just sort of got looking at number plates of what we could do for personalised plates from there. And yeah, when I saw the A girls, I thought, oh, that would work really well. And that's when I sort of thought, you know, played with the words a bit and thought diamonds are a girl's best friend. That works perfectly. And yeah, so the whole diamond theme and Marilyn Monroe theme started from there. So yeah, really pleased with how it's all just come together. It's a white Xeralic. So it's the Xeralic is actually the white, as in the white Xeralic paint. So it's not a pearl, it's a Xeralic. The airbrush was done by one of our club members, Dave McEwen. So he did a really good job with that, and I'm really pleased. He just nailed it. Awesome. This is my first show. My husband actually, I couldn't go to the NZHRA show because my uncle passed away, so we had his funeral. But my husband took the car along to that, so it was a bit of a bummer that I couldn't be there for that. But I heard there were really lots of really good comments, so really pleased. And I've had heaps of comments this weekend, so just absolutely blown away. It's been great. This is my first ever car myself. My husband's got a 1947 Chevy at the moment, Chevy Coupe, and before that we had a 37 Pontiac. So yeah, this is my first car, which I'm really pleased with. I think I'll have it for a very long time. My husband's always been a bit of a petrol head. We used to have Jappers. We had a R34 GDR, which I loved, but once we got into hot rodding, we got rid of those. But yeah, my parents, my dad's always loved cars. But yeah, I've always, since meeting Keith, it's pretty much everything's about cars. So it's great. The kids love it, absolutely love hot rodding. So it's a good part of our everyday life, really. It's cool. We've been in Bay Rodders now for about 10 years. So when we first got the Pontiac, we joined. And so, yeah, it's been awesome. They're a really neat club, really social club, but, you know, have heaps of different events on and, yeah, just heaps of fun to be part of. It's really neat.
My name's Neil McNichol from Tauranga, member of Bay Rodders, and this is my 59 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. I've had it for around 18 years. So, yeah, it's got a 430 MEL in it. Just a carburetor change, but yeah, it's pretty much stock as it was. Yep. Transmission's all original, running gear's all pretty much still drum brakes and that. Mechanically, it's all pretty much stock here. The body's just been a bit modified and then just custom paint on top, really. Yeah. I bought it from Hamilton. It came in from Texas, so it was pretty dry, sunburned, materials all falling through the seats and that, and yeah, drove around like that for about 4 or 5 years. And yeah, it's been now another 10, 11 years since had this treatment done to it. Yeah. Just before lockdown, the body sort of came home and it was painted and yeah, had all the lockdown to sort of piece it all back together. It was actually, it was mates of mine. Yeah, he's got a hot rod workshop out in Cattycat, so he did all the paintwork with him and one of his workers, did all the body modifications. It's had the guards cut, extended, Frenched door handles. The fins have been cut, re-welded, changed, and body-wise, apart from that, there's not too much changed. Then it's all been gapped, obviously, and a lot of blocking and sanding, and a lot of blocking and sanding, but yeah, that's he did it all out there, all in-house, yeah, so yeah, a lot of work. It's a custom colour, green with a gold pearl. Good mate of mine, Dave McEwen, he's done all the pinstriping, the gold leafing, Lincolnstein on the guards there. Helped me do all the scallops and that sort of thing. There would have been a few days in that alone, just masking and getting them painted. The wheels are a mob steel replica, 20-inch, 20 by 8s. I've got a few other cars as well. Yeah, this was it's my second American car that I've had. First one was a 48 Fleetmaster, but while this is off the road, I've got a 58 Apache. I drove around for quite some time. Got a 29 Doge. Yeah. Wife's got a 77 Chrysler, it's here as well. Yeah. I went to Spring Fling last weekend. Yeah. And then, yeah, just before lockdown, AJ's had an open day, we went out to that. So this is his first major real outing, I suppose you'd say, yeah. Yeah, I plan from now on just to drive the wheels off it, yeah, just like I used to, so, yeah. I've got got my 58 truck to bring back home. It got pulled apart sort of as this one was done, so I'm bringing that back home in the next few months and stuck into that. It's getting a lot of chassis mods in that, but yeah, Jag front, Commodore rear, LS motor, 6-speed manual. Yeah, and also got a 29 Doge. It's an old vintage car that'll be getting converted to a hot rod. So yeah, a few things on the go.
Advanced protection of hybrid ceramic.
Whoa.
Now in 3 easy-to-use products. In original spray wax, now as a liquid wax, and a spray detailer. Meguiar's hybrid ceramic family with advanced SiO2 technology. Meguiar's, ceramic made easy.
Rislone has been in engines almost as long as engines have been in cars. Why? Because from then until now, there's never been a perfectly clean fuel. This means every time you fill up, you're adding pollutants and contaminants to your fuel system. Rislone Fuel Injector Cleaner can cure those woes and help save your engine. Rislone Fuel Injector Cleaner adds an upper cylinder lubricant, providing double the cleaning power out of the same bottle. We know something about aging well, so when we say it's your engine's fountain of youth under a screw top, you can count on it. Rislone is the original engine tune-up. Available at participating stores near you.
Welcome back to Repco Muscle Garage. Now, thanks to Rislone, we stopped by Aaron Davey's home workshop to take a look at his 1966 Dodge Charger that's near completion.
My name's Aaron Davey. I'm building a 66 Dodge Charger. When I first saw it, I fell in love with it. I had no idea what it was, and I did some research and found one, and then brought it back here. A little bit of a sad story behind it. It had been a family-owned car for quite a while, and had been handed down to the son, but unfortunately the son had an accident and he was severely burnt, so he wasn't able to continue restoring the car. So came back to New Zealand, and this is where we're at now. So we're running a big block 440 in it, and it's an auto, and it's had a little bit of work done to it, but nothing major. And the latest project is the stainless custom exhaust that we've fitted. Regarding the body work, the car was from California, so it was super tidy, but it was a bare metal restoration, and then the paint was completed by Pedans at Huntley. So the car was originally stripped down about 3 years ago, got it painted about 12 months after that, and then it sat for a little while, and now we're getting back into it, so looking forward to certification, which is this Wednesday, only 2 days away, so hence the mayhem. You'll see what's going on, but we should make the deadline. The final things that we've really got to do for the certification on Wednesday is just get those brakes finalised. The handbrake's giving us a little bit of a runaround at the moment, but we're getting that, and we had the engine fired up for the first time yesterday, so yeah, we are leaving pretty late, but yeah, the boys are onto it, and we'll get there. So for the certification process, the main things will be checking the brakes, the suspension, all those modifications, and engine, etc. Needs to be able to be drivable as well. Fortunately, the seatbelts are standard in it, so won't be any issues with that, and that's usually a big part of the job.
With the certification deadline fast approaching, Aaron has recruited some fellow clubmates from Westside Classics.
I'm really new to the car scene. I only got involved with cars about 3 years ago, and knew nothing about them at all really, so I put a Facebook page up and met a few people down at the local pub, and we started a car club there called Westside Classics, and then all of a sudden found out there's a whole lot of other enthusiasts in the area, and now become really good mates with them, and that's what you see going on here today. Some really good buggers that are helping out. I've done four-wheel disc brake conversion on it, drop spindles in the front, had rear springs flattened, and just about to put some new mags and tyres on as well, so we'll see how that goes. Probably the biggest headache that we've had with the car is the electronics, or the lighting in the dash. It runs off what they call electroluminescent lighting, and that requires 240 volts to light that up. So after much trial and error, we end up giving up on that, aside from sending it to the States, and that's a $1,200 US rebuild. We come up with our own plan, and that was some LED strip lighting. So we're really pleased with how that's come up, yeah, it looks awesome. The interior is unchanged, it's just as it was, so just trying to keep that pretty simple really. Regarding the colour scheme, the two-tone was something that I really liked. It's got a chrome trim which will divide the black and silver, and it should look pretty sharp. I've always had in the back of my mind to have it ready for beach hop, which has obviously been delayed because of COVID, but that's the line in the sand at this stage, so I think everyone wants to launch their car at beach hop. It's a pretty great show. So some of the unusual features of the car is more along the electrics. So the headlights roll over and they disappear, and the tail lights and brake lights take up the whole back of the car, so just something a bit different. Hopefully the gas tank will be able to get us from petrol station to petrol station, but that'll be about it.
The 1966 Dodge Charger was Chrysler Corporation's more luxurious response to the Mustang, and was recognisable thanks to its huge wraparound rear window, fastback design, and is easily noticeable thanks to the electric shaver-looking front grille that stretched across the front.
I'd always liked the shape of the General Lee as a Dodge Charger, and would love to have had one. And when I saw this Charger, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a first generation Charger. But when I saw it, it really caught my eye, and I knew I had to have one. So that's when the search started, and here she is. First generation Chargers are a lot more common in America, of course. As far as I know, there's only about 6 or 7 in New Zealand, but yeah, it wasn't too hard to find it. I bought the car into the country about 3 years ago, sight unseen, and of course it's very hard for somebody on the other side of the world to trust you, and you're trusting to send money over there as well. So they were a little bit reluctant at first, but that was good. It tells me that you know, they were pretty genuine people as well. And so yeah, the import process wasn't too bad. Got it here and just started tearing it down and getting into it. All the preparation work was done here, including the strip down right back to the bare metal. So we put the car onto a rotisserie, and it took hours and hours naturally to get everything off of it. The hardest part was actually the thick underseal that was under the car. Pretty laborious job getting that back to bare metal. And we soda blasted all the tricky bits and sanded the bigger parts. So the main difference with this one, I guess, is just the fastback shape to it. It doesn't have a rear spoiler. Some people put them on, but I just like it standard.
The 66 Charger isn't the only classic car around Aaron's workshop.
My other cars, I have a 57 Chevy Bel Air, and I've only had that again for about 2 years. It's a car that I've wanted since I was about 19. Missed out on buying one back then. Back then they were only $8,000, so yeah, saw this one, had to have it. Came back and did a bit of floor work and things like that, four-wheel disc conversion, all those other things. Changed it from 3 on the tree, made it into a 4-speed Muncie, so 4 on the floor, which I preferred, and also put a Stroker 383 motor in it. The theme of the car was black on black. Everything was black. The windows already tinted, hence the black mags. The motor's blacked out. Everything's black. So she's affectionately known as Serena in respect of the superstar sportswoman that she is. I worked really hard on that to get that ready for a beach hop, which was postponed in March. And I had it legal the day before beach hop, had the plates in my hand, and of course that day was the lockdown, so I couldn't drive it anywhere. But starting to get out and about now, doing a few shows and things, and starting to get a few miles on it. My children love going in it, so hence the seat belts, lap and diagonals all throughout the car, and that was a big project in itself. The Charger is a step up on the 57. The 57 is really just a daily driver. It's good for throwing the kids and the dog in it and going off to the beach and doing shows and things like that. Getting a bit of grief from the boys. They think that the Charger is never going to be taken to any shows other than on a trailer, but we'll see about that. I do love the 57. I've always wanted one, but the thing with the 57, of course, is that every man and their dog has got one, just like the Mustangs. So, hey, I'd never sell it. Love it to bits, but I also love the more unique cars as well, so hence the 66 Dodge Charger. The other car I've got is a 59 Chrysler Windsor. Again, I've never seen that type of car before, but it was like Christine, it's that era of car. And so I've brought that back with the intention of restoring that. But I'm thinking now, hey, just stick with what you got and let somebody else enjoy it. But just like Christine, that car is talking to me as well. And when I tried everything worked, from the stereo, number plate light, indicators, everything worked, which is pretty unusual for such an old car. So yeah, it's a hard one, but she's going to go. My plan with the Charger is to be selective with the shows. It'll probably be the biggest shows that I go to with that, and everything else we're just running around in the 57.
Thanks to our sponsors, we have this amazing prize pack to give away, including this Repco 27-inch tool chest and trolley, and a complete Meguiar's and Rislone car care pack. With a total prize value of over $2,000, there's no excuse not to enter. Just go to themotorhood.com and follow the Repco Muscle Garage link on the homepage. Good luck, everyone. Muscle Garage was proudly brought to you by Repco. It starts with the parts. Mount Shop, undercar specialists. Meguiar's, people who love cars love Meguiar's. And Rislone, high performance additives for high performance vehicles.